Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Tash, and I'm sharing with you a 15-minute chair yoga from the Ministry of Yoga in Crewe. So for today's class, we're going to be focusing on hip openers and strengthening the legs. So before we begin, I invite you to just check the room and the space you are in, making sure that you've got lots of room and space around you. I always advise you just to move the arms around to make sure that you're not going to hit anyone or anything, and that your your chair that you're going to be sat on. It could be a table, you could be sat on a bed, you could be sat on the floor, but whatever prop you choose to sit on, making sure that it is stable and that it is secure. As you can see, I've got my feet on a brick because my feet don't quite comfortably touch the floor. So if you're not blessed with longer legs and you're a bit like me, you're more than welcome to stack some books, magazines, or have a cushion and pillow underneath the feet to make sure the feet are dangling off the edge of the seat of the chair. Making sure that your chair or your table or sat on the floor is on a nice, smooth, even surface, and you're wearing comfortable, light clothing that you can move freely in. Remembering health and safety, that nothing that we are doing today is supposed to hurt, cause pain, or lead to injury. However, you will experience sensations of maybe discomfort, and discomfort, we don't always like it. It doesn't always feel very nice, and discomfort can be described as pulling, tugging sensations. However, if we sit with the discomfort, it will begin to change in its qualities and its nature, and that's the beauty of yoga. So to begin, guys, if you're sat on the chair, moving along towards the edge, so not rounding or slouching back, making sure that your feet are in contact with the floor, bricks, cushions, pillows. And I invite you just to simply close your eyes here. Now, if closing your eyes is not comfortable for you, you're more than welcome to have the eyes open with a soft gaze down towards the floor or softly gaze at a non-moving point. Straight away, bring your awareness to the room and the space you are in. Begin to use your imagination or visualize the room. Four corners of the room, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, any doors, windows, any objects, items in the room. Noticing colours, textures, shapes. And keep your awareness inside this room. Don't allow the mind and the thoughts to wander outside of the room. As we begin to bring our awareness to our chair or whatever we are sitting on. How high, how low are you? Is the chair soft and cushioned? Is it hard? Are there any arms to the chair? What colour is the chair? It's a little bit more difficult because there's not as much to focus on, but keep your awareness on the chair. Don't allow your minds or thoughts to wander back into the room or outside of the room. And your awareness now comes to your physical body. Ask yourself how you're feeling today. You may wish to do a scan, starting from the soles of your feet as you begin to work with the body. Take a note of the quality of the sensations you notice and feel. Areas that feel nice, and areas that may feel a little tight, a little tense. As we move throughout the practice, we want to be careful and mindful of these tense and tight areas. Move slowly and gently for them to begin to slowly open up. And finally now, awareness comes to your breath, noticing how you breathe in, and beginning to choose a rhythm and a pace of the breath that feels right for you. It's nice and smooth, it's nice and long and deep, it's not short, fast or irregular. Helps to soothe the nervous system and helps keep the mind grounded and the physical body relaxed. As we all take a deep inhalation in, exhaling out through the mouth. And when you're ready, I invite you to begin to open your eyes. So starting with some hip mobility, working into the lower back as well. So bringing the hands to rest on top of the knees. We're going to inhale to center. As we exhale, we're going to lean over towards the right side, lowering down, draw the crown and head towards me. And then we bring ourselves back up to center. So we draw in circles with the head, with the chest. And moving nice and slowly. Try not to round or slouch forward, keeping the back and the spine nice and long and happy. And the next time we come back up to center, pause here, deep inhalation in. As we exhale, beginning to circle round in the opposite direction. And see if you can move with the breath. As we inhale, we lift up. We exhale, we lower and press down. If you can find that you've got a lot of space, you can move quite far. You can bend the elbows to lower down. The next time you come back up, just pause here as we begin to lift up the left leg. You can take your hands to grab round the back of the left thigh. We're just going to begin to point and flex through that left foot, just to begin to work and open up through the ankles. And trying to synchronize the movements as you maybe inhale, point the toes away, and as you exhale, flex the foot. Show me the soles of the feet. It never fails to amaze me how warm and how much sensations you can feel in the ankles just through doing this simple movement. So the next time you point the toes away, leave them there and just begin to draw circles with the foot and the ankle. Now I've got my foot up quite high. However, this is pulling into the lower back or too uncomfortable. Just bring the foot a little bit lower down. That's absolutely fine. And then pause in and begin to circle around in the opposite direction, getting rid of any cricks, any cracks. And then bring that left foot down. And just take a moment here to feel grounded and weighted in both feet, both legs, and both sitting bones. Still lift up to the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. As we use our next inhalation now to lift up the right leg, using the hands to interlink and grab behind the back of the thighs. Flexing the foot. As we inhale, point the toes away. As we exhale, flex the foot, spread out through the toes. And as we inhale, pointing the toes away. So gently rocking backwards and forwards with the foot, working into mobilizing and lubricating the ankle. And the next time you point the toes away, leave them pointing, curl the toes under, get that nice opening in the front of the ankle, and then begin to draw circles in one direction. And pause and begin to draw circles in the opposite direction. Notice if this side, there's more cricks and cracks. Does it feel a little bit more tighter? Is there more sensations? Or does it feel more open, more free? Got it on both sides of the body. We're not completely symmetrical. And then releasing that left leg down. And just take a moment here with the eyes closed. And notice how you feel down the back of the legs, in the feet and in the ankles. Come back to your breath and your breathing. Still nice and long and smooth. And this is not an opportunity for the mind and thoughts to wander, keeping them present in this room and within your practice. When you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. So we're going to work a little bit more into the hips now. So your next inhalation, lifting up the left leg. You're going to place your left hand on top of the knee, and you can bring your right hand to rest either on the thigh or down by the sides of the chair. We're going to begin to draw circles now, moving from the hip. Keep that left foot constantly flexed to help protect the knee. Try not to round or slouch back. We're still lifting up to the crown of the head, keeping the lower back nice and spacious. And the next time we lift the knee up, pause here and begin to move around now in the opposite direction. Keep that foot flexed. The body does love to follow the path of least resistance. You have to constantly be applying that awareness and that effort. You've got to be attentive to your practice. And the next time we come up, pause here. Maybe we hold it. Maybe we can bring both hands around and squeeze that knee and thigh in towards the chest. And as we exhale, release the leg down. And if you feel like you moved or shuffled around on your seat, then feel free just to wiggle the hips from side to side, lifting up one bum cheek and shuffling towards the front of the chair again as you prepare to come onto the right side. So you're going to inhale, lift the right foot up, foot constantly flexed, bring the right hand to rest on top of the right knee, left hand on thigh or down by the side of the chair. Beginning to draw circles now outwards. Just take your time, nice and slowly to begin with. We're not swinging round like the propeller on a helicopter. Try and move the breath as we inhale up, exhale, lowering down. And the next time we lift the knee up, pause here, and as you exhale, begin to circle around now in the opposite direction. And there might be quite small circles, or there might be quite big and wide circles. It just all depends on the space and the range of mobility in the hip. But everything we are doing is working towards creating more space, more openness in the body. So next time we inhale up, hold here. Maybe bring both hands around, interlink and squeeze the knee and the thigh towards the chest. And as we exhale, lower that leg down. So we have the invitation now to come up to standing for the next part of the practice as we come into more strengthening for the legs. However, if it's not accessible for you to stand up, everything can be done sat down in the chair. For those of us that like to have a go standing up now, if you need to shake the legs or move them, feel free to do so. I'm going to turn my chair around so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to stand at the back of the chair and we're going to take a nice big step back. I can't tell you exactly how much in distance because some of us may be longer, some of us may be shorter. We don't want to be too far back where we're stretching like this, but we don't want to be too close to the chair. So coming into a standing cat and cow to warm up and mobilise the spine a little bit. So have the feet hip distance apart, look down at your feet, they're pointing towards the chair, have a soft bend in the knees, slightly bending and sitting back. As you breathe in, we arch in the lower back, creating space in the front of the belly, bend the elbows, you gaze forward. And as we exhale, we're tucking the tailbone under, belly button in towards the spine, press away from the chair, round the shoulders up towards the ears. As you breathe in, bending through the knees, tilt the hips forward, bum back, gaze forward. And as we exhale, press away from the floor in the chair, tuck the tailbone, belly button in towards the spine, round the shoulders up towards the ears. So go through a couple more rounds like that in your own time. For those of us that aren't doing the standing cat and cow, you're going to be simply sat in your chair, hands on top of the knees or the thighs. As you breathe in, we're drawing the arms back towards us, opening through the chest, gazing up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, begin to round forward, chin to chest. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. So choosing your option and variation, seated or standing, and just noticing how does the back, how does the spine feel today? And doing one more in each direction, and then come into stillness. So have a go at working with our balance a little bit as we come into some heel lifts. So for those of us that are standing, you can use the chair for support. You may feel quite confident to not have the chair. So we're all going to inhale, lift up onto the toes, heels away from the floor as you reach the arms up. And as we exhale, the arms going to swing back down, heels come down to the floor. We're going to inhale, press into the toes and the balls of the feet as we lift the heels away, take the arms up, growing nice and long and strong in the body. As we exhale, palm faces down as we slowly try to bring both heels down at the same time. How it looks if we take both arms up. How long, how tall can we grow? As we exhale, lowering down. For those of us that are still sat in the chair, you're going to inhale, bring the heels away, press into the balls as we sweep the arms up. And as we exhale, synchronize the movement as both hands and heels come back down towards the floor. So going through a couple more rounds in your own time. For those of us that are standing, it's okay to wobble. That's the body calibrating, finding its center of gravity. It means that you're working. And wherever we are, we're just going to do two more. And after you've done your final one, coming back to standing or seated down, and just close your eyes to have an awareness phase, just to observe the effects of doing our heel lifts, challenging our balance and our coordination. When you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes if you are standing, coming back down to seated now. we're just all going to finish the class with a minute or so of deep abdominal breathing to promote that rest and repair part of the nervous system. So you can bring the hands to either rest on the knees of the lap, or it might be quite nice to bring the hands to the rest on the lower belly. Make sure you're not leaning around and back. Lift the crown of the head, nice long spine. Relax the ears away from the shoulders. Press down to the soles of the feet. As you take a deep breath in through the nose or in through the mouth, expand the belly, allow it to open up like a balloon. As you breathe out, belly button draws in towards the spine. Feel tension, feel stress leaving the body. We breathe in, creating that spaciousness and opening in the chest and in the belly. And the exhalation, letting go of anything that's old, that's negative, that's non-beneficial. 2 more deep breath in. And a nice slow, relaxing release and breath out. 1 more deep breath in. Feel the belly press against your hands if they're resting on the belly. And then watch the belly, your clothing, your hands fall back on the exhalation. As you come back to normal, natural breathing, I invite you to open your eyes. And then bring the hands to the heart center in a gesture in yoga called Anjali Mudra, which is a gesture of gratitude, giving thanks for yourselves, for your time, your effort, your energy, and your practice shared here today. So we'll take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, bowing the head down towards the heart space, giving thanks. Namaste. When you're ready, you can release the hands, fully flutter the eyelids open. And I hope everybody enjoyed the practice and has a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you very much. Take care. Stay happy and healthy, everybody.